Boys and girls, this is math lesson 9.11, and here is our math message. It says you have 6 boxes of markers with 10 markers in each box. How many markers do you have in all? Show your answer, and you have to show it using a number line, a number grid, or base 10 blocks. So you may know the answer already, but I need you to show me by using one of these models. All right, pause the video and draw that out on your piece of paper. So let's check our work. With a number line, you are going to be start at 0, and for each of your jumps, you can jump by tens, and we have to jump 6 times. So 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jump, 4, 5, and 6, and where we land. So we're jumping by tens. So did your answer come up with 60? You are correct. Good job. That was with a number line. Let me get my number grid out. All right, here's my number grid. And I have 6 boxes, and there are 10 in each box. So I'm going to start at 10, and I'm going to jump down 6 times, and where I land is going to be my answer. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 jumps down, and that gives me my answer. Then the last way was the base 10 blocks. That one's a pretty simple method too. You have a box of markers, 6 boxes, and there's 10 markers in each box. So this would be a simple one. So there's 10, there's 1 box, 2 box, 3 box, 4, 5, and 6. And with it being 10 in each box, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so that was that's a pretty simple way. We're counting by tens. We're going to relate that to our math target for today, which is I can decide which tool in math helps to solve the problem. And those tools could be either the number line, okay, or it can be the number grid, or it could be your base 10 blocks. So we're going to be able to choose which one of these tools will help us to solve our problems. We also are going to use some math help. A tool that we can use is we're actually going to be working with 5s and 10s specifically. So what's another tool or another resource or use that we know how to count by 5s and 10s with? Good job, you're right. We can use money, okay? So because we know how much money is worth, these coins, that would be one of our tools that we can use when we're counting by 5s or 10s. So that's just some ideas that we're going to be doing using our with our math target, and I can decide which tool in math helps to solve the problem. So I need you to get out a couple of pages for math today. We're going to work on these pages together, so this will be your math lesson. I need you to get out page 245. 246 will be on the back, and page 247. So we'll be working with 3 pages today. So go get your math pages. All right, we're on page 245. Go ahead and put TKA at the top of the page because you are working with Miss Foster on this page. And on this page, it actually has your dimes and your nickels. So find the value of each set of dimes and the value of each set of nickels. So you can use those as counters if you need to, You can actually make X's to help you know that which value you're counting, or tally marks to be able to count. But what we're going to be doing is relating the value of these coins, nickels being 5 cents and dimes being 10 cents, to be able to help us count, to be able to come up with problems that are answering if they were being multiplied by 5 or multiplied by 10. So if I have 2 dimes, how much is that worth? Good job. 20 cents. If I have 2 nickels, how much is that worth? 10 cents. If I have 4 dimes, how much is that worth? Good job. Notice they skipped a number. That's okay. They're going to be skipping some. 4 nickels. Good job. All right, before we move on, I want you to look. Did you notice a pattern between just these 3 numbers that we did? Good. You notice that the dimes are 2 times as much as they are for the nickels, or you can look at it as the nickels are half of what the dimes would be. So I want you to finish this chart, and then we'll check it in just a minute, and then we'll work on number 2 together. So go ahead and pause the video and fill in your chart. All right, let's check the rest of our chart. We left off on 4 dimes. For 5 dimes, did you get 50 cents? And for 5 nickels, 25 cents. Good job. 8 dimes, 80 cents, and 8 nickels, 40 cents. And 10 dimes is 100 cents or $1, and 10 nickels is 50 cents. So if you know your doubles facts, then you can be able to find half of what they are for your nickels. So that's an easy way for us to know our dimes and nickels values. Okay, look at the value of the dimes and the value of the nickels in each row, and what do you notice? It's just what we just talked about. Nickels are half the value as dimes. So the answers to these questions, if they had put 3 dimes up there, what would it be? Good job, 30 cents. What if they said there were 3 nickels? Good job, 15 cents. So you're looking at how those have, the nickels and dimes have patterns, just like in our previous lesson where the 2s, whenever you are multiplying by 2, there is patterns there as well. All right, so turn your page over to page 246. You can put TKA at the top of the page. We're going to work on this page together. Now they're doing multiples of 10, 5, and 2. So they're taking that information that we know about with 10s and with 5s, and then our previous lesson on 2s, and they're asking you to use it with multiplication. Okay? So think of it as dimes or nickels, or counting by 10s or counting by 5s, and this is how we'll be able to answer this page. So how many is 3 5s? So if I had 3 nickels, how much would that be worth? Good job. That's 15. So a number model for that, instead of saying 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, they're saying we have how many 5s? 3. And what's the value of each one of these? 5. So 3 times 5 equals 15. All right, number 2. How many is 7 10s? So I can get out dimes if I wanted to and count, touch and count. So 7 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And my number model, how many 10s do I have? 7. And what is their value? 10. So 7 times 10 equals 70. All right, I want you to finish number 3, 4, and 5, and then we'll work on 6 and 7 together. So pause the video. All right, let's check our work. So how much money is 5 nickels? So if I had my 5 nickels, I was counting by nickels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counting by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I have 25 cents. And how many nickels do I have? I have 5. What is their value? They're each worth 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. All All right, I won't pull any more coins out. We'll just check our page. How much money is 6 dimes? I'm counting by 10 6 times. So 6 times 10 is 60, and the value is 60 cents. And then how much money is 6 nickels? Well, if you know the 6 dimes, you know that it's half the value. So therefore, it would be 30 cents, or 6 times 5 is 30. All right. Number 6 says a store display. Make sure we can see in my camera. Yep. A store display has 4 rows of oranges. So rows, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 oranges in each row. Draw an array to show the oranges. So I have orange, 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 orange. That's 5. And I'm going to put 5 in each group. You do this with me. Okay. And how many oranges are on display? So each row there is 5. So again, I'm counting by 5s. You can count by your nickels, or you can just count by your 5s and your jumps. So 5, 10, 15, 20. There are 20 oranges. How many is 4 sets of 5s? How many is that? 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 4 set. So how many is there? 20. And then our number model is 4 times 5. It's because you're counting by row times how many in each row. So 4 times 5 is 20. All right, I'll read number 7 for you, and then I want you to pause the video and then check your answer to Ms. Foster's. Joe put pictures in an album. There are 3 rows, okay, of pictures on a page. There are 2 pictures in each row. Draw an array to show the picture on one page. All right, pause the video, do your math, and then come back and check your work. Let's check our work. We have 3 rows with 2 pictures in each row. So how many pictures in all? 2, 4, 6. How many is 3 sets? 1, 2, 3 of 2s. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's 6. And our number model is 3 by our rows, 3 rows. And how many in each row? 2. 3 times 2 is 6. All right, that's page 246. I need you to get out page 247. All right, we're looking at page 247. Make sure you put TKA at the top, and let's read the directions. Paul's teacher asked him to partition the rectangle right here at the right into 3 rows and 5 columns. Then she asked him to count the total number of small squares. Paul's partition rectangle is shown here at the right. How many small squares cover the rectangle? He says there's 24. Do you agree with Paul's solution? Yes or no? So does he have 3 rows? He does not. How many rows does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many are in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he doesn't, and how many columns is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. So he did a 4 by 6 array, and his teacher asked him to do a 3 by 5 array. So do you agree with Paul's solution? No. Why? Paul did a 4 by 6 array, not a 3 by 5 array. Okay. Number 2, show how you would partition the rectangle into 3 rows and 5 columns. All right, I want you to pause the video, and I want you to show me how your grid would look, and then we'll check it once you get finished. So pause the video. All right, look at your grid that you made. Do you have your 3 rows? 1, 2, 3. And do you have your 5 columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So number 3 says, describe how you partition the rectangle. How did you do it? I made 3 rows and I have 5 columns. Okay, so now how many squares are there in all? This is a 3 by 5, or 3 times 5. So that means I'm going to be saying 5 plus 5 plus 5, which equals how many squares? Good job, 15. All right, boys and girls, that concludes our math lesson today. Let's go back and look at our math target. Let me zoom out. That's too big. All right, let's look at our math target. I can decide which tool in math helps me to solve the problem. We use number lines, number grids, base 10 blocks, 5s and 10s. The easiest way Miss Foster uses is I like using money, because that's something that we know and we work on to count in 2nd grade. We've worked on our base 10 blocks, which are easy to be able to count because we know each long is worth 10. And you always have your number grid. So the number grid that you have, that Miss Foster used, you have that in the back of your book. So don't forget to use your number grid. And then we actually use the number line. You can do an open number line and start at a number that you needed. But in this particular case, for our math message, we started at 0 and counted all the way up our 6 jumps to 60. So that concludes our math lesson today. I hope that and that actually concludes our math lesson for the year. So I will miss you guys, but we will have a couple of more assignments. And before I go, wanted to let you know that I miss you and I love you. All right, so thanks for a great year.